WBRZ News 2 at 5.
A Zachary man having a heart attack, reluctant to go to the hospital.
John Pasternak has his story in our special series, Reduce Your Risk, next to Your Health.
Reduce Your Risk with John Pasternak is brought to you by Subway and Lane Regional Medical Center.
Into Your Health, in the next 40 seconds, someone will die of a heart attack.
They come without warning, and in many cases, the symptoms are ignored. It happened to a Zachary man who almost missed the cut because of his heart problems. News 2's John Pasternak has his story in our special series, Reduce Your Risk.
Kevin Garrett will tell you he's lucky to be alive. He cuts grass and landscapes yards for a living. But last year, he almost missed the cut when he suffered a heart attack. He ignored chest pains and other symptoms, even argued with his wife, who's a nurse, about going to the hospital. And he's sharing his story to help others reduce their risk. When Kevin Garrett fires up his lawnmower,
I like being outside. I like being by myself.
he gets in gear.
You get to finish something that you start. You don't go home with the job half done.
It's that kind of philosophy that's helped him build a successful lawn care and landscaping business in Zachary. But in April of 2018, he almost missed the cut, as something almost finished him and pulled him off his mower.
My name is Kevin Garrett. I'm 45 years old, and I suffered a heart attack.
And it came without warning when Kevin was weed eating and started having some mysterious symptoms.
My left arm was hurting, going numb, and the back hurt from shoulder to shoulder.
He thought he was overheated, so he sat in his truck to rest and started having chest pains.
I had put 911 in the phone and never pressed send, and at that point I passed out.
Minutes later, he came to and drove home, even passing the emergency room at Lane Regional Medical Center. He got into the bathtub to cool off and argued with his wife, Lori, who's a nurse, about going to the hospital.
No, I'm fine, I think I just got overheated. And I said, you're not fine, and I'm not going to wake up tomorrow next to a dead husband. So you're going to get up, and we're going to go to the hospital.
And it's a good thing they did. At Lane, he underwent a transradiocatheterization through his wrist, where doctors discovered what was wrong.
And you can see straight away that he's got a narrowing right here, and this is plaque buildup in the widowmaker.
90% of his main artery, the widowmaker, was blocked. Kevin was having a heart attack. So they inserted a stent to open up the artery and save Kevin's life.
He probably would have died. He would have probably had a cardiac arrest and died. So never ignore the symptoms. That's the bottom line.
I felt like an idiot, to be honest, because I wanted to stay home. I wanted to stay working. I mean, I tried to just keep on keeping on, work through it.
Kevin Garrett was almost the victim of a disease that will kill more than 13,000 people this year in Louisiana. And doctors say they're seeing a tragic trend. Younger people having heart attacks and dying.
In their 40s now. Typically, we would not see them until their 50s and 60s and 70s, but now it's 40, and not unusual to see people in their 30s, and I have a few that are in their 20s.
And Kevin was one of the lucky ones. 2 weeks later, he was back on his mower, finishing lawns again. But the whole experience has changed him.
It's changed all of us a lot, but him tremendously. It's you just have a different take on the gift of every day, realizing how precious life is.
Oh, you think about it every day, every time. It's hard not to.
What's the number one thing, the number one lesson you want other people to learn from your story?
Don't ignore the symptoms. If you have them, go get them checked out. Worst case, doctor tells you you're fine and you feel better.
And now he's trading in lawn care for heart care, getting regular checkups, spending more time with his family, and sharing his story about the day he almost missed the cut.
I could have easily stayed out there and not be here talking to you today.
And you can meet many heart attack survivors like Kevin at the Capital Area Heart Walk, coming up Saturday, March 30th at City Hall Plaza in downtown Baton Rouge. For more information, visit their website, capitalareaheartwalk.org. And on our next report, smoking. It's the #1 risk factor for heart disease. We'll meet a Zachary woman who's trying to kick the habit before it's too late. And she's getting help through a free program called Commit to Quit. If you smoke and can't quit, don't miss Deborah's story. Wednesday on Reduce Your Risk. Sylvia, Chris?
What a great survival story.
Yes, absolutely.
Thanks, JP.